Jacob Waldrop writes, I love the show and watch every episode. Thanks for the great job. My question is this. I often see people write in and ask why a movie they liked is getting a sequel. You will then point out that the movie did not do well and the people didn't care for it. However, I noticed that they have a Grown Ups 2 about to hit theaters. The movie has a 9% approval rating and didn't do well in box office sales. However, it got a sequel. I think we would all agree that Cars was the worst of the Pixar movies from a ratings point of view, but it got a sequel while we still wait for a follow-up of The Incredibles. Why do some movies that do poorly get follow-up movies?
I think there are a couple reasons why it could happen. I mean, historically, there are a couple of great examples, I believe, of bad movies that got sequels. I thought the first Rush Hour film with Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker was terrible. But oddly enough, I love Rush Hour 2. I don't know why. I love Rush Hour 2. I just love it. One of the best examples, though, is the original Star Trek film. Awful. You go back and try to watch that original Star Trek film, man. Like the very first Star Trek movie with William Shatner and Leonard, all the cast back. That is a terrible movie. It was terrible then. It's terrible now. But they did a sequel anyway. And what did we get? Star Trek II, The Wrath of Khan. One of the best sci-fi movies ever. I mean, I love that movie. It's iconic. It's a classic. So it can happen. So I think there are a couple of reasons why they might do sequels sometimes. Number one, they thought there was great potential there that they didn't live up to, but there's still potential to do much better. I think that's why Underworld got a second film originally. But the bigger reason is this. All movie making is about making money. For studios, the people who put these movies out, it's about making money. If we make this movie, do we have a chance to legitimately make money? Because it's a business. That's what it is. Nobody does anything in business to lose money. And so when you're talking about some films, like let's look at Cars for a second. Yeah, Cars was the weakest
but it was
of the
so
Pixar films. Well, I mean, a lot of people love it. A lot of people do love it.
Good.
But saying it's the weakest of the Pixar films, it's like saying, I don't know, Keith Jardine is the least tough of the UFC fighters, who will still kick 99.9% of everybody's asses in the world. But saying you're the weakest of the Pixar films is still pretty good. Mm-hmm. But the reason it gets a sequel probably pretty quickly, as opposed to like an Incredibles 2, which we all want an Incredibles 2, is because they know it will make money. They know the younger kids with Cars, because a lot of Pixar films like Up and WALL-E, they can have a lot more mature themes that adults love. I've always said this, Pixar doesn't make kids films. They make kid-friendly films. But Cars was definitely the most kids film that I think they've ever done. So there's potential there. Plus, they can make a lot of money on the Cars brand beyond just the movies. They're making Cars Land at Disneyland. The merchandising is high profit. So they have a lot of motivation to do a film like that they know is going to make money. And, you look at something like Grown Ups. Yeah, the first Grown Ups film was very negatively received, but everybody went to go see it. Yeah. It made a lot of money. And so they know if we make another one, it won't make as much as the first one because everybody was disappointed with it, but it will make money. So they get together and make it. And that's how they do it. Dennis, can you see any other reasons why, poorly received first films would go ahead and get sequels?
Yeah, it's basically potential. I mean, they see potential for making more money. But I think he's exaggerating. I'm not defending these movies. Cars, yeah, it was the weakest of the Pixar movies. I didn't see Grown Ups, but they didn't lose a buttload of money. I mean,
no, they all made money.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Like Grown Ups, I think grossed 160 million, and Cars made 240 million. So you're not talking about box office failures. So they weren't huge hits, but they made enough where they would at least think about making a sequel, and that's why they did it.
Hey guys, if you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and will keep you up to date on all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC Movie Talk Show. Also, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Twitter to find out about our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.